What's going on YouTube? Kiwi Stings here, bringing you another Final Fantasy VII The First Soldier Battle Royale video, and today's video is going to be all about controller settings and what I have my settings to when I play on controller. So without further ado, we'll get straight into it, guys. Okay, welcome back. So we'll start off now with just the basic controls to begin with. I think there is two options you guys should use if you're using controller, and that is either auto fire or fixed fire. Fixed fire is just complete manual shooting, regardless of what you're doing, if you're hip firing or ADSing. But for me, I'm testing out and I'm trialing this, and I have been for a while. I am running the auto fire, but in a specific way. What I am doing, if we go down to the next spot for the auto fire, is the auto fire active skills or things that are selected if it's on. I actually have all of them off. Reason being, the first one there, when aiming down sight, when we're ADSing, I like to manually aim when I am ADSing down sight. I just feel it is a lot better that way. Next one, when aiming at monsters, this is off. Especially if you have autofire on, you definitely want this off. You don't want to be running around the map and you come across like a Tonberry or the Guardian Sentinel or just something else you don't want to attack, because if you have this on, you're going to auto-attack monsters, which you probably don't really want. Next, when aiming while crawling, I don't find myself crawling too much in the game anyway, so I just have that off. Going down to the next stuff, everything else is just default for... everything else is just default. I'm not touching anything here. Joystick, aim assist, of course, if you're playing controller, you want a bit of aim assist. I don't think there is actually that strong an aim assist in the game anyway, but we'll leave it on. Now we'll go into the actually controller settings and sensitivity. So I am running custom camera sensitivity, but that automatically changes when you start messing around with the sensitivity settings. I feel there is two most important settings in these, and that is going to be general sensitivity and fire sensitivity. As you start off with, I am running 250 general sensitivity, so if we go back in game, that is your general movement around here. I know a lot of people have talked about this and said how stiff the game feels. This definitely makes it flow a lot easier. As you can see, my camera movement around just is a lot better. I have it on 250, which is a lot faster because I find it way better when you're up close in close combat / melee fights. So, you know, if your opponent rushes you and they sort of zoom past you, you can flick around with the camera and then keep continuing to attack them. I just find that super helpful. For a different scenario here, I will show you what it is like if you have it like on max settings, so 500 being the max. You can see how fast it goes. So I think 250 for me is a good starting point. You guys can take all these settings and try them out yourself. If you don't like them, you can always lower them or raise them. I'm just doing this as a set starting point for you guys. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, if someone is really keen on it, they could run like 500 camera sensitivity here, general sensitivity. But yeah, like I said, in melee fights, you don't want to overturn your camera where you can't really see them. Let's go into the next point here. Let's go back into the controller settings. I'll drop that back down to 250. Materia sensitivity is just default, 150. I don't feel like I have to change this at all. I think the movement and dropping the skills of materia is good enough. It doesn't have to be any faster. Fire sensitivity. People might not realize what this is. They might think it's ADSing, but it's not. I think the default for this was 150 as well, but I have dropped it back to 130. What the fire sensitivity is actually your hip fire. So moving the camera like this as you hip fire a shot. Yeah, the faster you are, the more you get sort of movement like this, so on and so forth. As you can see, if we go back into sensitivity and drop it down further, you can see how stiff it is. We'll just go to something like, let's go 50. Now if we hip fire on 50, see how it doesn't really move, like there and there. I was trying to aim at the player, but if I move away, so just pretend you are versing another player who's actually moving, it's really stiff. You can't even turn your camera or your analog stick to actually aim at them. So it's definitely better being high for that. Like I said, 150 is the default, but you guys can have a muck around with it. I just think 130 is that little bit slower, so you can sort of keep up with your opponent or your enemy moving around. You can sort of follow them a lot easier. So that is that. Now we go into the scopes. I think 2 times, 4 times, 8 times are all the default. 1 times, I think the default setting was 60. I've raised that to 70 just so I can aim a little bit better. So on and so forth. That's your up, down, left, right movement. Yeah, I suppose that's pretty much it, guys. So, I mean, I'm getting better and better with these settings. I mean, it's all just trial and error, so you guys can test them out, like I said. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Also, the reason why I have the ADS settings as default pretty much is because most of the time I will ADS when I am in long range or mid range. When I start getting into that close range, I either start doing the old hip fire, or if it's even closer than that, that's when you get into that whole melee situation and combat. Like me, I am playing warrior, so I really enjoy the close combat with the melee and punisher move right here, so you can get that big PP damage. But otherwise, guys, I think that is basically it. I hope this helped you out at all. You're welcome to give it a go. If this did help you, give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments what your sensitivity settings are, or if this helped you out at all. Yeah, or if you guys want to see anything else on Final Fantasy VII The First Soldier, just let me know and I'll see what I can do with videos and video-wise. But in the meantime, guys, wherever you are, if you have a good day or have a good night, it's all good, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you later.